Hi, it's Ed Sanderson, CEO of Ducerus, your total college solution, and this is a college planning minute that's probably going to be about 2.5 minutes, and it's really important video, so hopefully you'll be able to get some information out of it. With all of the changes and all the challenges that we face with this pandemic, the question that keeps popping up is, what are all the updates from the colleges and universities? Well, we get different pieces of information from different schools at different times, but the one that seems to be coming up the most is there are going to be colleges and universities that will not require standardized testing, SAT or ACT, and some schools are even saying they're not even going to be looking at the last semester in high school, the last quarter, depending on what grading system you use. And so the question I get is, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that young men and women who are going to apply to college are going to have carte blanche to do whatever they want. Meaning that if UCLA gets 111,000 applications like they did last year, you can expect that students who typically wouldn't consider applying are going to apply because they think that their SAT scores or the lack of them may give them an opportunity. Well, I would caution that. And for those of you who are competing at that level, let me give you a couple things to think about. Just because a school says that it's not required does not necessarily mean that you will not have the ability to submit an SAT or an ACT score. Well, translation, you should still be using your time to prep and get ready for the test when they come back online sometime in the fall or the early part of winter. So here's the dilemma. What do you do during this time period? Well, there's a few things you should probably be thinking about. One, I just mentioned you should be prepping for the standardized test because although it's not required, there can be schools who will still accept it. Two, you got to get busy writing essays. If you're a junior in high school, you're about 6 months away from the application process to be submitted. So you want to get writing right now. And then three, put yourselves in the position of the admissions officer. What are they going to be looking for? Well, they're going to be looking at the regular stuff, your extracurricular activities, your community service, and your leadership. And although you may seem that community service isn't a thing that you can do right now, or extracurricular activities are not available, keep in mind there are some creative things that young men and women are doing. I read an article about a young man who used a 3D printer to create just a little, I guess it's like a holder or a little, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like an adapter so that he could take the pressure off of medical workers who have the masks around their ears. And he made a little thing, printed out there so that it could hold the strings, the tension of the strings on the back of the head as opposed to the ears. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That is an incredible use of talent and skill and creativity during difficult times. I would also say that you could use the time to take an online class, begin learning a new foreign language, maybe exploring other opportunities that you may not have because you did not have the time before. And one other thing about admissions officers, you should be prepared, although I haven't heard this directly yet, to answer the question, what did you do during the COVID-19 pandemic? And for schools who may not have required letters of recommendation, I wouldn't be surprised if they ask for them now. So that's a lot of information to process and think about, but here's the final word. Do not expect because they don't require a standardized test that means you're out of the woods. You should still be preparing for it and being proactive in your other activities like essay writing, getting involved in the community where you can, and really be looking at staying active and busy. So if somebody asks you the question, what did you do during the downtime? You have a good, solid answer for them. This is Ed Sanderson. I'm the CEO of Ducerus, your total college solution, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.